Well, we had talked some with Coach earlier today about about the role the guys like you, Trey, and Dees have played in kind of helping mentor Justin, because you've been through what he's going through right now, where you're in your first year of college basketball, your team's relying on you quite a bit. How much have you kind of taken it upon yourself to provide sort of a mentorship role for him and to give him advice?
I mean, we just told him that you're a good player. Honestly, you're gonna have your down nights. You're gonna have your good nights. And the other night, he really had a good night. He was efficient. 14 for 17. I think he had 9 rebounds. And I think Trey took the double double away from him. Somebody did. Yeah. But I mean, I don't think we rely on each other. I just think we trust each other. Because we all know that we can score the ball. When somebody has a bad night, somebody else gonna have to pick it up, and he was really doing that job.
I was curious if you ever look at him and they're like, man, like you have it way easier than I did last year.
Yeah, he really does, but I don't look at that. I just try to like keep motivated, get everybody motivated, and keep everybody happy, and just try to keep going. That's one of my main jobs, to be a leader.
Xavier, you guys just came off a stretch of 3 games in 7 days, and now Wednesday you start another stretch, 3 games in 7 days. And the back end of that is 2 road games. What do you do? What do your teammates and yourself do to keep yourself fresh, like off the court when you're not playing basketball?
Coach told us always go to treatment. That's one thing we gotta take care of our bodies. That's the main thing he says after almost every game. Take care of your bodies, take care of your body, and that's one thing from last year that we didn't do a lot. But this year though, like dudes not going out after like wins and we got a game in the next 2 days. That's one thing different.
What do you do? Like, do you try to get enough sleep? Do you get to bed early? Do you watch what you eat?
I try to get like more than 8 hours of sleep. Sometimes I watch what I eat, but I really don't eat a lot per se. But yeah.
What kind of things do you do to try to keep your diet in check?
Uh, I mean, sometimes I get salad, eat veggies, uh, just those little things.
Hard to do for you? Give up the
Mm.
good stuff?
Nah, not really. If you want to be successful, that's what it takes.
X, how much do you feel like the maybe your guys' prowess on defense is something that's maybe not getting talked about enough? You're one of the top teams in the country when it comes to turning guys over. You've been really good at shutting down other teams' best players on a pretty consistent basis. How much of that is something that you guys take a lot of pride in and talk maybe amongst yourselves about?
We take big pride on the defensive end because honestly, we're not a very good we're a very streaky shooting team. For those type of teams, you got to play defense. You got to get stops, and that's one thing that we praise decent Trey about because they usually guard our best players.
Next, this time of year, there's so much talk about the tournament or where teams are going to end up at the end of the year. How much do you use that as fuel and motivation, and how much do you need to, not think about that right now?
Last year was different because we weren't talked about it. So this year it is different because we have a chance as a team, as one unit. But at the same time, we got to just keep winning. That's the main thing because you can't get that without winning.
Does it feel different knowing that
Yeah, it feels very different. But at the same time, it's just see how far this program's come.
There's a lot of games left. Is it dangerous maybe to look too far ahead?
It is dangerous to look too far ahead. That's why we're gonna take it day by day.
What do you know about Clemson? I mean, I know they have a reputation for being a defensive team too, but what have you seen about the way you think you guys are going to match up against them?
They really they really don't have a just a set five. They have one that comes off the bench. But I don't think I watched the game yesterday. Amir didn't play. I guess he had the flu. But I mean, they're a team that our five is going to be a different game for them because Amir is a really perimeter player, so they're going to have to sit down and guard, and we're going to help them out at the same time.
What do you guys as players think of 9 o'clock tip-offs?
9 o'clock tip-offs. I really don't have asked that question, but I mean, it's just a game, another game to be played. So we just got to be ready and prepared.
You guys played them twice last year. What do you remember from those games? They obviously played pretty well against you guys. What do you remember about them from those two?
Really the main thing I remember is just losing. That losing feeling, and they really didn't just beat us. They destroyed us. Because I think once we lost that game, like that's when everything really went downhill. Yeah, that's pretty much.
You let losses hang with you like that? I mean, you can't dwell on them, but do you use them even from year to year as motivation?
I really don't take losses like that. I just take them as lessons. I just remember from last year. I remember what they did to us, and I won't ever forget that.
X, you had talked a little bit about things kind of coming apart. I mean, you all, I guess, through 17 games last year, were 12-5, and you finished 2-14. You all are obviously kind of past that point now, but we had talked to Coach Gabe a little bit earlier today about about there being concern that there may be kind of like another wall there that this team could hit like they did last year. What feels different about this team this year that makes you feel like you could avoid that?
This team is resilient. Every guy on the roster is resilient from top to bottom. All the guys come in prepared. Even if we lose a game, they know it's another game that's next up, and we got to take advantage of each and every game, and we're going to just keep building.
I guess things could potentially change on Wednesday, depending upon whether or not he plays. But I mean, over these past few games as a guard, I mean, with Murph out, with Oni out now, how much do you go into those games feeling? I don't know if it's a necessarily pressure, but where it's like, I pretty much have to play all 40 minutes. Like there really isn't room for me to be out for 5 minutes or be in foul trouble.
I mean, if we being honest, I probably barely come out of the game, even though everybody's still there. But I mean, that's just one thing. Guys have to be prepared. The next guy up, like this was a time for Gerald. Gerald came in and provided good minutes, and some dudes Onya even provided good minutes for the time before he got injured. But the next guy has to be ready, and the next guy has to just play their role.
You've been playing a lot of minutes, 38 and 40 minutes lately. How do you feel at the end of the game, and how do you feel the next day after playing so many minutes?
There was a different routine from last year in my body than this year. Last year I really didn't get treatment like that. I really didn't have like the college body. But this year is I worked on my body. I always get treatment. I always just go on the legs. Always resting, drinking more water. It's just little things like that, and I just see like the difference from my body this year, and just being ready to play every game.
Heavier this year? You have more pounds this year? Do you weigh more?
I don't think I probably weigh like 5. I'm probably like 200, probably 195 still. Same thing, but it's more muscle more than anything.
When this is the end of the half the other day, and Trey kind of got banged up, went back to the locker room. I mean, was he kind of playing through some stuff, and how, like, thinking about playing that second half, possibly not having him, was that something you guys had to talk about?
Oh no, I know Trey, my brother. He's resilient, like everybody else. I knew he's gonna come back from it. He's a tough dude, so I knew he was gonna come back. So I was just like, all right, he gonna come back, and he did. He gave us a good second half.
Actually, there was never really a drop off for you last season. I mean, you were pretty consistent, but how much more or how much better equipped do you feel like you are this year to handle games where night in and night out you're playing 37, 38, 40 minutes?
I mean, that's just one thing. I'm just built like coach always constantly playing me. That's where my experience comes in. I try not to do everything too much. I think last year I got into doing too much every game. I caught cramps and this and that. But this year I already haven't caught a cramp. I'm drinking more water, take care of my body, like the little things like that. And I'm doing way better.
Last year, we talked a lot about the middle of the year about how teams had kind of changed their defensive mindset, and they were really doing the most they could to keep you and Trey from driving. How do you feel like having Justin and Adis playing much better offensively has kind of allowed stopped teams from being able to kind of key on one thing and shut you guys down?
It's a sign of relief for real. Cause last year it was just me going, and that's my game. But I wouldn't like to do that every play. This year, it's relief because now D shooting the ball and Justin shooting it well, and we have Murph when he comes back, and so we have shooters and dudes are ready to catch and shoot.
I know there's that like meme. I think it's from Grand Theft Auto where it's like, oh shit, like here we go again. Would that be the kind of feeling that you would get going into games sometimes?
Ooh, like which part?
You know, where basically you knew that you were so overwhelmingly responsible for so much of what you guys were doing. You know, where you didn't have a whole lot, where you didn't have nearly as many offensive options as you do now. I mean, would that be something you kind of carry with you, like not dread, but where it's just basically like, you know, I gotta do all this again.
I mean, just going and playing. I mean, I really don't care if I do it again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Is what I was taught, and that's something that Coach Cable does. You see, if you run a play, if you make a play, man, score, you just gonna keep running and running until they stop it. But that's just is one thing though about Coach. You know, if you run it right, and we gonna keep scoring.
Are practices shorter this time of year?
Yeah, practices are shorter because legs and dudes starting to get a little banged up a little bit, and so that's just one thing.
You guys have played, I don't know, a good amount of zone all year, and then came out against Georgia Tech and you did something like you really haven't done. You blitz ball screens. And how much do you feel like what you do, or what coaches put in sort of defensively is a lot? You guys to keep other teams kind of off balance from time to time.
That's just from the coaching staff. They're doing a good job of scouting, and we're doing a good job listening and locking in. That's the main thing they tell us in practice. You gotta lock in to this. You gotta listen to every detail they say. That was one thing on the scouting report from last game. It was just a blitz ball screen from Jose, Zay getting in the paint, and DeVoe, and so we did that, and we came out with the win.
Which coach is kind of the guy that's providing those defensive?
It's every coach, to be honest. Coach O'Toole is the main guy that's a part of the 2-3 though. But all the other coaches, they do pretty much everything.